Even if we are at an age where we no longer believe in Santa Claus, we need this letter. Even if we are already Santa Claus for the little treasures in our home, we need this letter. We need this letter, not because it's Christmas, but because we shouldn't forget the most essential things in our lives. The hope, the dream, and the assurance that the best is yet to come. In December 1897, the editorial office of the New York Post received a letter from an 8-year-old girl who, on her father's advice, asked the authoritative newspaper to answer the question of whether there really is a Santa Claus. They give the letter to one of the most experienced journalists, Francis P. Church. And he sits down and writes the answer. His unsigned essay today has the glory of being the most famous newspaper article of all time. Q. The New York Post published it every Christmas Eve until 1949, when it ceased. Here is the original text of Virginia O'Hanlon's letter. Dear Editor, I am 8 years old. Some of my little friends say Santa doesn't exist. Please tell me the truth, is there a Santa Claus? Virginia O'Hanlon. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. Virginia, your little friends are wrong. They are influenced by the skepticism of a skeptical age. They don't believe unless they see. They think something doesn't exist unless their little minds perceive it. Virginia, of both great men and children, is small. In our vast universe, man is a veritable insect, an ant, in his intellect compared with the infinite world above him if measured by his possibility of mastering all truth and all knowledge. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. That it exists is as confident as love, nobility, and devotion exist. And you know that they are everywhere and bring beauty and joy to life. Alas! How sad the world would be without Santa Claus. He would be as painful as if there were no Virginias. Then there would be no childlike faith, poetry, or romance, which make our existence tolerable. We would get no pleasures except what was felt and seen. The light with which childhood illuminates the world will be extinguished. Don't believe in Santa Claus. You may not believe in fairies. You can have someone watch all the chimneys on Christmas Eve to catch Santa Claus. But what does that prove, even if you don't see it going into the chimney? No one sees Santa, but that doesn't mean there isn't a Santa. The most real things in this world are those that neither children nor adults can see. Have you ever seen fairies dancing on the lawn? Of course not, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. No one can perceive or imagine all the wonders of the world that are unseen and unseen. You can break a baby's rattle and see what makes the noise inside it, but there is a veil that covers the invisible world, and it cannot be torn apart by the most muscular man nor by the combined might of the strongest man that ever lived on earth. This world. Only faith, poetry, love, and romance can pull back the veil and see and describe the supreme beauty and splendor behind it. Is this all real? Ah, Virginia, there is nothing more natural and lasting in all our world. There was no Santa Claus? Thank you, Lord. He is alive and will live forever. In thousands of years, Virginia, nay, in 10 times 10,000 years, he will continue to bring joy to a child's heart.